Hello, guys, and welcome back to Big Brother Canada. And today we are looking at the veto competition. Currently, Bailey and Avery are both up on the block, and the plan currently is to send Avery packing. But she doesn't know that. She thinks that the plan is to get rid of Bailey, or she's trying to get rid of Todd. So everything is to play for. This veto competition is the most important one of the series so far. So if you're not watching along, make sure you're clicking the link in the description if you want to, obviously, and watching along. And if you are enjoying the show, make sure to subscribe because I will be reviewing this until the bitter end. So without much further ado, let's get into the episode, shall we? So Tola made a very bold statement in that he believes that if he takes out Avery, he has won Big Brother. That's a very bold statement for someone who, at the moment, there are 7 people left in the house and they've got to eliminate people until there is only 2 left. I don't think he's making it that far. I'm going to be 100% honest. I'm so sorry. Especially with the double eviction this week. I don't think he's going to survive that because everyone in the house, the only people that will save him, potentially, are Todd, Dougie, Lexus, maybe, I guess. So, essentially, he's in a little bit of a tricky predicament, especially since he can't play in the next head of household, so he can't even protect himself. However, there is an interesting predicament going on because Bailey is actually angry at Tola for his nomination speech, in which he was like, I'm better than you, I'm faster than you, I'm stronger than you, I'm better looking than you. It did come across as quite arrogant, and as much as Tola meant it as a joke, I can understand why the joke didn't quite land, especially when he's been going, Bailey, you're not my target, and then he gets up there and he delivers quite a harsh nomination speech about her and a very tame one for Avery, who is supposed to be his actual target. I don't know, it did just feel a little bit weird, but the funny thing was Bailey just getting so angry and pissed off about it. It was genuinely so entertaining, so funny, and she cemented herself as my favourite from this series. She has been nothing but entertaining. She gets like hot-headed and angry, and then she'll be like, oh, and it's just so funny to watch. I am hashtag Team Bailey. If you're hashtag Team Bailey, make sure you put that in the description down below. Not the description, the comment section. But there was a line when she went up to Dougie and she was like, get your toddler under control. And I was like, this is very funny. This is absolutely hilarious because he genuinely thought that she was joking with this whole facade. And then she comes into his HOH room and goes, what the fuck was that? And he was like, oh, you're not joking? Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Oh my goodness. Fortunately, they've hashed it out. But what a fantastic start to the episode and what a funny moment. There was an interesting conversation between Dougie and Bailey, and Dougie is now actually seeing Bailey as more of an asset and less of a liability, which I think is very interesting. A couple of weeks ago, he would have been all down to send her packing, but now I feel like he's wanting to work with her and move towards the finale with her. He wants to make sure that he is as many people's number ones as possible, and the only way to take Bailey and get her to take him is by getting Spicy V out of the picture. But obviously Spicy V is the person that he's meant to be working the most closely with. So he's skirting around the issue. He's kind of dancing around the words. He's doing a little Irish jig to try and get her to bite. But she's not really biting. She's not really doing anything of the such. She's kind of just letting him talk and then sort of being like, okay, yeah, I get that. Yeah. She's giving him enough to satiate him, but obviously she's seen right through this. She's known for a while now that Dougie is not to be trusted. Dougie is the most powerful person in the house. She's known this since week 2, week 3 maybe, when Donna was sent back in and then Dennis was sent back in. Ever since Dennis left, she's known that Dougie is a threat and she's just got to bide her time and wait to get rid of him. There's no real good way of doing this, and unfortunately, it's just gonna have to be whenever they can take a shot. It's not ideal. It isn't at all, but something's got to change, and something's got to happen for him to be voted out of the house. And I don't know. It would be interesting to see him gone. So now we have the discussion of what's going to happen if the noms change. Bailey is very much sort of sacrificing herself on the block in order to keep nominations the same, because she doesn't want V to be put up. She doesn't want Todd to be put up, which means that she's going to have to sacrifice Avery. And out of those three, I think Bailey has the weakest connection with Avery. And so therefore it makes sense for her to want to keep the other two. How do I feel about this? Am I happy that Bailey's going to be on the block come eviction night? Potentially not. Not entirely. We've still got to watch the veto, so anything could change. But I have a feeling, yeah, they could easily switch the vote on her. I don't think they would, because I think they see Avery as a better competitor, because Bailey's only won one veto, whereas Avery has won 2 head of households, and has she won a veto? I can't remember. But either way, she is a strong competitor, and Bailey, I don't think other people see her as strong. However, V is 100% ready to stab Todd in the back and get him out of the house. She wants to keep the girls together. She wants to. She has to. That's the way she's going to do things. However, V is now laying nice groundwork for everyone. Being like, yo, Lexus, Todd's coming after you, by the way. Just to let you know, Todd's coming after you. And I don't want to have to be the person to tell you this, because I'm just innocent. I'm just a bystander. I'm not saying anything. However, he is coming after you. Sorry. And she was like, this is a little bit convenient. Just a little bit. The fact that you're coming to me now. I don't know whether this was the best move for V. It kind of exposes her a little bit. It kind of exposes her a little bit as a game player. And I think people are going to start being like, this is uncomfortable to say the least. This is not a fun situation. V, why are you lying? And if it gets back to Todd, that's a bridge burnt there as well. But V decided to double down on it and decided to go to Dougie and be like, yo, Todd said you're his target. And Dougie's like, what? What? That doesn't make sense. What's going on here? Like, are you sure, V? Are you sure you're not lying to me? And she went, no, 100%, 100%. He's not buying it. He's not picking up what she's putting down. She is definitely making a desperate attempt to turn the house against Todd in order to save Avery or to flip the vote. And it's just not working. Avery's going home, and I think V knows that. And I think she's desperately trying to make one last play to save her friend. But I don't think this is the right move for your game. Yes, Avery's good for your game, but blowing your game up by exposing yourself as a liar, I don't know whether that's the smartest plan. I think it's a potentially misguided plan, and that's the issue that she's facing currently, is that she's trying so desperately to keep one person in the house that she's alienating 3 people in the house. Potentially even 4. I don't know. If it gets back to Tola, who knows. But that is all for V's gameplay. Let's get into the veto. So the veto competition was a bit crazy. It looked really fun, actually. Not like massively fun, but just sort of like they got to lie down on a bed. They just had to look at a screen and just click a button every time they saw a shooting star. Except for the fact that there were about 50 shooting stars at once, and it was absolutely rough to like count. I think I gave up. They were showing me the screens, and I was like, I was struggling to count. I think I would have just sat there and just clicked it as many times as like I thought I saw it, and then like an extra 3 or 4 just in case. Do you know what I mean? I think that would have been the smartest plan. However, some people were a bit better than others, and I was really surprised because at the first pit stop, Anthony was only 1 star behind the actual total. 1 star. I think it was something like 1,200 and something, and he was 1,201. Let's say it was 1,202. That was how close he was. I was like, rah, Anthony could pull this out of the bag. Okay, this is interesting. This is a good, interesting move, because if Dougie wins, he's going to have to make some decisions. He's played this game very passively. He's not won anything. So maybe it's time for him to actually take charge and actually do something in this house. Then at the first V stop, obviously they all were asked to bid time on a phone call from home. Whoever gave up the most time would win the phone call from home, and they had to put a blindfold on, and they missed out on however many minutes. I'm pretty sure V put her blindfold on for 7 minutes, and so she went to sleep for 7 minutes, or she put her head down, and she missed 7 minutes of the display. The issue was that when she took the blindfold off, she overcorrected herself, and she was like, oh, I must have missed like at least 400, when actually she'd only missed like 200. So she ended up really, really far ahead of the total, and therefore in last place for the rest of the competition. Then the next pit stop, Dougie won 5 grand, but he had to be blindfolded for 12 minutes, which was a little bit longer. He didn't quite manage to recover from this, but I think he was like, well, I've got 5 grand, I don't need this veto. Like, it's not the most important. Let's see what happens with the rest of the girls, because if Bailey or Avery get it and they take themselves down, the option to put V up and backdoor her is there, and I think Dougie's wanting that as an option. But somebody actually managed to get within 15 stars of the actual total. The actual total was 2,241, and this person's total was 2,226. Honestly, crazy. It was Todd. Todd absolutely smashed this challenge. Like, did really, really well. I really wasn't expecting him to do that well, but he did, and he smashed it. Honestly, this is the best case for hashtag Team Bailey, because Todd will either take her down or leave her up knowing that Avery is going home. He's not going to do something that's going to put Bailey's game in jeopardy, because that puts his game in jeopardy. Him and Bailey come currently as a little bit of a duo. So I'm seeing that Todd has got her best interests in his heart. Todd's also winning a lot of challenges recently. I'm getting impressed with him. He's pulling it out of the bag. Maybe he's trying a little bit harder now that the game's getting a little bit tougher, but he's doing well. I'm impressed with him. So the last thing that we're going to talk about is what Todd wanted to do with the veto. He spoke to Tola. Tola was like, yo, can you keep the noms the same? And Todd was like, bet. However, if Bailey asks me to use it, I'm going to use it. If she comes to me and she's like, I want you to use it on me, then I will use it on her, because she did it for me last week. So I can understand why he's got this sense of loyalty to her, and why he's got a sense of, what's the word I'm looking for? I think loyalty is the word. And therefore, he's going to want to save her the same way that she saved him. However, they did have a chat outside, and you could tell that she wanted to be like, use it on me, use it on me, use it on me. But she knew for the greater good of the house, if Avery got taken down, V is going up, and she didn't want V going up and going home against Avery, because obviously V is a bigger threat than Avery. So I can understand why she was hesitant to want to use it on herself. It's a shame, because I really do not like the fact that Bailey is still on the eviction block, but it is what it is. Either way, that brings us on to the nomination. So, Tola, what are you going to do? Because Todd, he's kept nominations the same, so Tola doesn't actually have to do anything. So that was actually best case scenario for us. I think getting Avery out of the house this week is smart. She is a strong competitor. She's a strong person in the house in general. They've been trying to backdoor her for a couple of weeks. It's just not worked out for them, but here we are. That is it. We are heading into the final stretch. Next episode is a double eviction. Double. So if you guys are enjoying, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Do all of that YouTube stuff that you guys do so well. And I will see you guys in the next episode, whenever that may be. So without much further ado, keep on ranting. Bye now.